Welcome to the Take a Listing Today podcast, where our hosts Jim Studebaker and Todd Robertson give you strategies to get you out of the office right now so you can take a new listing today. And now, here's Jim and Todd.
Yes, that's us, Jim and Todd here. The Take a Listing Today podcast, show number 140. Thanks for hanging with us for so many episodes.
140.
Huh?
Did we ever think we'd make it this far?
No, but somebody had courage in us. She may not be very bright. Lisa Gray, our producer. Hey.
What's that? Don't glaze over that. It may not be very bright.
Even though she gave us a hard time, she's kept us straight and narrow. And
You thought we were going to be a big success,
right,
but you're actually correct. So you are bright.
you're right because the lights.
Literally and figuratively. I have some lights on me.
We have the bright lights on. Do you like how I turned that around?
I mean, yeah, I do like that. That was.
I like that too.
You're smart too.
Why, thank you.
Equally astounding.
Now, more astounding. Anyway, welcome to our show today. Today, if you're a Pepsi fan, you're going to be disappointed because today's show is all about what you can learn about Coca-Cola's marketing strategy.
Ooh, this should be an interesting one.
It will be interesting to see what Lisa has come up with. Did you spend all night drinking some Coca-Cola while you were coming up with this idea?
No, that would make sense. But,
Yes.
no, just aqua, por favor.
Oh,
That's all?
The standard, yes. But
Okay.
but I do love looking at analyzing the way companies market, specifically huge companies and companies that are iconic, meaning they've been around a long time. I find it fascinating.
Okay.
And that sort of equates to some of our realtors that have been around. And you ask them, why have you lasted this long? 12, 15, 20 years. They've been doing things in their own world, which we're going to get into as well.
Is somebody here ringing?
Yes, I definitely.
Oh, that's our caller from last week.
Oh, are they still on hold?
Are you done in that meeting?
We'll be right with you in
Are you
like
done
30
finally?
minutes. Yes.
I don't normally wear this fancy watch, but and I turned my phone off. I don't know how to turn this watch off.
No, I don't know.
If I wear the old-fashioned watch, then I don't have to worry about it.
Hot
Take
dog,
it off
everything's
and
normal.
Take it off and
Just
do
take it
this really hard.
Will that work?
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Okay.
Well, they'll call back if they really wanted something. Okay. As one of the world's most recognizable brands, Coca-Cola has become a household name and a global leader in the beverage industry. Coca-Cola was founded in 1892.
Is that crazy to even think about that?
That is
I know.
crazy. People
And it's
drinking
gone through
Coke
its
back then.
challenges, its rebranding, it's everything. But
Well, and Pepsi came along, I think they're more around the 50s, right in there. So I actually, before I did the research on this, I thought they were founded in around similar time. Not that big of a gap.
Right.
You know?
And they have a big museum in Atlanta.
Wow, I didn't know that.
They do. The world of Coca-Cola. This is turning into a plug for Coca-Cola, but yes, it's right downtown and by the aquarium.
Okay.
I've been there once.
That'd be
It was
interesting,
pretty exciting.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it's so interesting because my mother used to drink Pepsi. So when we used to go out to restaurants, and I think it still happens, that someone says, "Oh, can I get a Pepsi?" And they'll say, "Oh, is Coke okay?" Or someone says, "Oh, can I get a Coke?"
Oh, yeah.
"Oh, is Pepsi okay?" Because that's
It's like a cult war. I mean,
Right.
Yeah, my mother was a Pepsi drinker too, and
Really?
I mean, seriously, it's chemical versus brown chemical, brown chemical. But
they'll give you a slight buzz for 3 minutes and then crash you.
Yeah, they're diehards. They are. The Pepsi Coke drinkers are diehards.
Yeah.
But I'd say overall, Coca-Cola wins. You know. Yeah.
Will Pepsi agree to that?
Well, I mean, I'm saying revenue-wise, from what I investigated.
Okay. All right. Well, you've got the numbers.
Coca-Cola's winning.
You are the numbers girl, so you should know. All right. A critical reason why Coca-Cola is still around and still a leader in their industry is due to their commitment to marketing. Despite their success, Coca-Cola continues to invest heavily in marketing campaigns.
So think about that sentence. Despite their success, so interesting. It's the top realtors that show up at the seminar, sit in the front row. It's the top realtors that sign up for our biggest and best stuff. So interesting. The leader wants to remain the leader. You take your foot off the gas. These guys know other people are climbing the ladder.
The top realtors who send out mailings consistently every month without fail.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always say when in doubt of what to do, look at the biggest dude out there doing it. And I don't even mean in the same industry. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It's universal. If you're trying to sell something, this is universal. Everybody across every type of product, service, etc., that are trying to sell things, whether it's a product or a service, they've got to do the same thing, right?
Right.
I mean, they're doing it in slightly different ways, but they've got to get that revenue churning and burning. How do you do it? What are the big guys doing? This is the biggest of the big. What are they doing and why are they doing it? That's what we're going to look into.
Did these guys have a Super Bowl commercial? I don't remember Coke being on the Super Bowl.
I don't think I remember them doing it this year either.
But talking about big guys, Walt Disney World had a huge ad during the Super Bowl.
Yes, they did.
I mean, they're pretty much the place you think of when you think of, vacation destination, right? But they're still advertising.
Exactly. And since we're on the Super Bowl subject, I was thinking about this, and I looked this up before the show. A Super Bowl commercial, 30 seconds, $5 million.
Wow.
Past presidents, and I haven't looked that part up to see if they've all accepted, they've all been invited to do an interview during the Super Bowl. And maybe it's a short. Biden said no. So I equated that to a real estate agent going, wow. So think about, you get this big call, this big
opportunity.
Way outside of your comfort zone, right? Opportunity. And you say no. Any politician would have died for that time.
Especially coming into a...
yes.
Re-election campaign.
Thank you,
so just reminded me to when, wow, if you get that, and he wouldn't have had to pay that. That was a...
Yeah.
I mean, wow, like be ready for your time. That hit me like a ton of bricks, like a real estate agent going, whoa, I'm not ready. Let me go I have to bring Lisa on the listing presentation because.
Well, and there's another thing I think about with Super Bowl ads. Everybody knows they're expensive, right? We all know it's that $5 million for 20 seconds or whatever it is. So typically you see the big hitters in there. Every once in a while you don't. You see smaller companies that have purchased ads in there. And it's to me, it's instantaneous brand elevation.
Yes,
because there's this weird psychological thing that when a company is spending a lot of money on marketing,
if you're there,
they must be making a lot of money. If they're making a lot of money, they must have a lot of customers. If they have a lot of customers, they must have something really great they're selling. Why do they have so many customers? You know what I mean? There's like this weird, we as human beings, we want to cluster around the things that are successful. So when you see a brand that you think, I haven't really heard of that. Wow, but they're spending that kind of money. What the heck are they doing? You know, it's
hey, and I was at a Super Bowl party when people saw a commercial. They were downloading things during the commercial. That was crashing.
Right.
For what it's worth, I remember there was a message on my desk. I think that was from the Super Bowl. They wanted us on there, and since Biden said no,
oh,
but
shoot,
we could have done a 60-second spot, an abbreviated version of our podcast. But
maybe next year.
Yes,
yeah, they'll call again.
Roger Goodell next year.
Yeah,
look us up.
Get your.
We know you watch our show.
Get your request in earlier, so that way we can
earlier. That was the problem.
Block some time for it, right?
Come on,
right?
Think about it. Right now would be the time to call for next year.
Right,
probably a good idea.
We're available.
All right. So, despite the success of Coca-Cola, we are going to. No, not that was the line before. Sorry. Never mind. Despite their success. To drive home their success, here is a list of huge companies similar to Coca-Cola that no longer exist. As I read off the list, think about the last time you remember.
You can do it.
See how much fun she has giving us no prep time. She has fun with this.
You can do it. Just go with it.
I got to think and read at the same time so I can translate what is written here into speech. As I read off of the list, think about the last time you remember seeing any form of marketing by these companies. How about Pier 1 Imports?
That's very surprising. I grew up in California, and they're big in California.
Borders Books.
Oh, yeah.
Sports Authority. Toys R Us. Kodak. BlackBerry, and Polaroid.
You know what's interesting about Pier 1 and Toys R Us? I actually do remember when they did advertise. And I would say it's probably been 25, 30 years that I can remember them advertising. But they, at one time, spent a lot of money on advertising.
Toys R Us had that creepy, huge giraffe.
Yes.
In their commercials.
That scared the kids. The kids want to run back to the car.
And, you know, there are probably people listening to this show right now thinking, but Borders, they got pushed out of business by Amazon. There's Barnes & Nobles out there. In fact, Barnes & Nobles reformulated their brand, pivoted, and reopened stores all over the country. So no, but you have to figure out. Yeah, you have to figure out a way to succeed. So there's two things going on here, two lessons to learn. Number one, is if something's not working, pivot and try again.
Right.
That's universal. Kodak, that's what went wrong Pete Diamandis wrote a whole book called Bold on Kodak's downfall because they could not pivot. So one thing is, pivot, keep trying, pivot, try again, but also stay out there. Stay out there or you disappear. If Toys R Us kept doing relevant ads, maybe they would still be out there competing because, you can buy toys all different places, but there are still brick and mortar stores that you can go into and buy a toy.
Right.
You know, Polaroid is still selling the cameras that spit the picture out.
I know they are.
I did not know that.
I was wondering who bought that.
Is that a novelty or
well, you think it's a novelty, but you know, kids might think, well, that's cool. You can take a picture and then hand it out. They had those at a Target store.
Wow, that's great.
As long as we're advertising for a bunch of other companies here, that was at Target. They had the Polaroid cameras that would.
But you know what?
The
they're not owned by Polaroid anymore. Polaroid tanked, but somebody bought that.
Yeah, somebody bought it and they bought
smart.
the name because it's still called Polaroid.
And isn't that interesting how, and I remember when those ads started, I think they started those up again, maybe it's been about 7 years ago, Polaroid cameras, or 8 years ago, somewhere in there. They started advertising them. They knew that they could get the teen and pre-teeners to love this concept. Like you said, they're so used to digital, the idea that nobody wants to use film. You're not going to get anyone on board with that, a young kid.
That's a great point. That generation's it's
instantaneous.
Eyes go big.
Yeah, like, wait, what?
A picture? It's magic.
Right, magic. Yeah, witchcraft.
You're blowing it. You're doing this to make it.
So they started doing the right kind of advertising and marketing, and boom, relevant again. You know who else did that was Hostess. Remember, Hostess went down, Twinkies, all that stuff crashed and burned. But somebody bought them, and I don't know if it was Kraft that bought them.
Crocs and Hey Dude, same thing.
Yeah, but whoever bought them started marketing again, and now they're all over the place. They're huge again. You know, somebody else had a vision for that. You know,
I remember a seminar I sat in with these guys, Wake Up Warrior, with Russell Brunson, who co-owns ClickFunnels, and they had a panel up on stage, and they talked about they're willing to outspend their competition to get their customers because once they get that threshold, like Coca-Cola did, life becomes easier, right? It's just like a real estate agent. How do I get branded? Okay, hey, I'm brand new as of 2 weeks ago. Don't beat yourself up. Start doing the basics. Tune into this show. Watch, listen to it 3 or 4 times, and implement what's in here, and you will become the brand.
Right. Yeah, but you're right. You have to rise above the noise. Rise above the noise. That's a great term.
That's
rise
hard.
Above the noise. All right. Well, as we speak of Coca-Cola's marketing strategies, let's think about how they might align or work for you in your real estate business.
Yeah, that's what this is really about today. You're probably thinking, why are we listening to Coca-Cola? Why do I need to be here? Because we're going to stop and we want you to think about, all right, this is a strategy they had. How can you apply something similar to this concept, or how would this work in your business?
And you bring up a good point, like changing market, like we talk about ChatGPT, brand new, even though it's been out for a while. I saw an interview with the CEO last week, and I don't know which company, but her concept was great. As opposed to being scared, like, oh my gosh, is it going to eliminate this job? She went to her team, and she goes, by next week's meeting, I'm going to give each person $1,000 if you can find some type of AI that's going to help you in your position. How brilliant of that young lady. So that's a pivot. That's a major pivot.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. The reason why Coca-Cola continues to market, regardless of their success, can be attributed to a few different factors. Number one, effective marketing helps Coca-Cola stay on top of mind with consumers and maintain their position as a market leader. Consumers are consistently bombarded with ads from competing brands, so Coca-Cola's marketing efforts help ensure that their brand remains visible and memorable to the consumers.
Bombarded. That's interesting you bring that up, right? So I think the whole objective here, same with a soft drink company, same with the real estate agent, is how do we get the consumer's attention, right?
Right.
Jeff Bezos talks about it. Elon Musk talks about it. That's the hardest thing, is getting their attention.
Right.
And as a real estate agent, right, and that's what we're all about, 140 shows, is about helping you guys get more attention. So when a consumer looks at your marketing piece, all the noise is gone and you're the only option.
Right. And we actually talk about that more in next week's episode.
Okay.
So if you're listening today, definitely tune in next week. We talk about the science of that and what it takes scientifically, because it's a measure.
Nice.
Marketing is a measured science. What it takes scientifically to not just rise above the noise, but get noticed and stay noticed. And Coca-Cola is applying some of those scientific techniques as well.
And consistent marketing campaigns, like you just mentioned, Todd. Coca-Cola has a long history of creating iconic marketing campaigns, such as Share a Coke campaign, which encouraged consumers to share a bottle of Coke with someone special.
Well, and, we talk about how do you align with this as a realtor, whatever your unique value proposition is, whatever messaging that you like to continually use on your marketing, is there a way to create a campaign wrapped around that? Something fun, something thinking outside of the box, something creative. That's what they're doing here. If you're sharing a Coke, you're getting somebody else to drink it. Obviously, this industry is big on referrals. Is there another way to approach that that's creative? Because that would be similar to sharing a Coke, right? Getting somebody else to... If you can get someone to reach out to me on your behalf, but what's a creative way to look at that? How can you create a campaign around that could be fun?
Right.
Now, this campaign that they do helped to reinforce the brand's message of friendship and togetherness and help keep Coca-Cola's name at the forefront of consumers' minds.
Warm and fuzzy, very family-oriented.
Yeah.
Continued marketing helps Coca-Cola reach new customers and expand its customer base. Coca-Cola's marketing campaigns often feature new product offerings, such as the launch of the Coca-Cola Zero Sugar product.
I was thinking about a campaign they did, and they started, it may be 20 years old now, but they probably look at their revenue throughout the year and say, where do we dip? And I would imagine the winter months are months that they may dip a little, aside from the addicts who will drink it every day.
Right, they wake up.
Right. They've got them. That's their core.
Right.
But there's, the other consumers, it's cold outside in many parts of the country. Now we're heading into the Christmas holidays. You think of eggnog, you think of hot cocoa. You don't
Baileys.
You don't think a cold glass of Coca-Cola, right?
Right.
You just don't think of that. So they started all of those Christmas ads. They really...
I remember those with like in the snow.
Bears.
Yeah, the polar bear.
They really have branded that polar bear as their mascot now.
It made you want to watch the commercials. Way different than every other commercial, right?
Wasn't that the answer on one of our trivia questions about Santa Claus?
Yeah, I don't think our realtor got it right.
Did you do that research? Isn't that why he has the red coat, because of Coca-Cola?
Oh, that's right. I don't remember.
We'll have that answer for you next week on next week's.
I don't remember, but it was their way of taking. So again, align. How do you align in your own business with this? Look at an area, a time in the year where maybe your sales go down, and think about what's a crazy way. Let's again think outside the box, because that's what they're doing. They're like, okay, how do you get people who are drinking hot cocoa, eggnog, all these other things to want Coca-Cola? And they messed with a bunch of different marketing campaigns until they found something that stuck and started pushing that revenue up. So think in that same way. Do what Coca-Cola does.
Lisa, are we just glancing over the mid 80s?
No.
I mean, we were barely.
You were in diapers
glimmer
still.
and-
You and I were running around getting into everything we could.
Right. Wasn't that about the time that the infamous Coca-Cola Classic came out?
Oh, yeah, that was the
Great
80s.
story, because it was a fail and they recovered.
Yeah, they did.
That was a big fail.
Yeah.
Which is why they had to rebrand themselves Coca-Cola Classic. Right?
And then they slowly got rid of the classic and went back to the original.
Right.
It's like it never happened.
Right.
Yeah. But, I think it was a valuable lesson about their core, again, because they had a certain way of, they liked the taste, they didn't want it changed. Maybe, who knows, people call it a mistake. Maybe some people in the company say, no, that was intentional. We wanted to get that core group to go like this even more, like cling to, clean.
Take it away. It's a real takeaway, and then you did bring it back.
Right, and then you bring it back.
Wow,
who knows? Was it
point.
reverse psychology? I don't know. It seemed like a big mistake.
I never thought of that. Yeah, interesting.
Huh. So Coca-Cola, through its marketing campaigns, is also able to introduce new products to a wider audience, which helps them increase their market share. And marketing also helps Coca-Cola to remain competitive in a rapidly changing market. The beverage industry is constantly evolving as consumer tastes and preferences change. Coca-Cola must stay ahead of the curve by consistently innovating and introducing new products and campaigns.
And again, this is an area, let's look at your real estate business and the different types of marketing you've tried in the past. Hopefully you're tracking it and you know what works and what doesn't work. Maybe it's time to look at something you've never done before. if you've never done a direct mail campaign, like a long-term scheduled campaign, maybe it's time to try that. If you've never done a piece like the Marketometer that Todd can hold up there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just brought these to show some marketing. Like, if you're going to do a consistent campaign, watch, a lot of people aren't ready for the Market Dominator yet, right?
That's a mega piece. Look
right.
at that.
Maybe
Mega
it's out of their budget, but even a panoramic or even a small postcard, make sure there is a campaign in place no matter what for the branding.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So if you haven't tried some of that, maybe
Right.
it's time to try it. Or you typically send just listed but not just sold cards, or you never get on the phone and make those checking in kind of calls with your sphere, or you just don't even work your sphere, or you never
Right.
walk to your neighborhood on Halloween to say hi to people. Whatever it is, think outside the box, innovate, try something new. Hey, even if you have a Coke Classic fail, that's better than not trying at all.
Well, and a great book comes to mind for the realtors watching and listening right now. And I know a lot of the mega agents out there have embraced this book. It's called Guerrilla Marketing.
Yeah.
And it's been around for a while, but a lot of people use it. It's got every strategy from, like, you have pins on your with your name, you leave them at the bank, you drop them. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they say Papa John's whole franchise took off by that book, Guerrilla Marketing. That's how they read that and said, boom, let's go.
Yeah. No, great. Hey, marketing really, the core doesn't change that much.
Right.
People approach it different ways, but the core ideas.
Right. And doing that keeps you top of mind with customers as well. Reaching new customers and staying competitive in a changing market is what Coca-Cola is able to do to maintain its position as a market leader. And without effective marketing, Coca-Cola would not have been able to remain as successful as they have for so many years. And right now, we all be drinking RC Cola.
So don't ever give
RC is
up.
gone. What was the
No, I saw RC the other day.
Did you
did?
really?
Yes,
What
I did.
about Tab? Remember that
Tab.
I do remember Tab,
Michael Jackson
yes.
drank that in a commercial. What about Dr. Pepper?
Now, Tab back then, was that the first Diet Coke style
My mom drank
product?
that too. I think
Because
so.
I don't think
It
that,
didn't work.
I don't think Coke or Pepsi had Diet back then. I
Yeah.
think they were the first with the
that
Diet.
was back when sugar was fine and
Right,
Yeah,
right.
right.
having
So,
issues.
so
Don't
they were
worry-
kind
don't
of
worry
the
about
first
it.
on that scene. But what's interesting about Tab, wasn't it kind of even a pink color?
Oh, yeah. It was disgusting and it had sucrose and
Yeah, it was bad. But for a while, I guarantee if you looked at the charts back then, they started
They were-
climbing, and Coca-Cola and Pepsi are like, wait a minute, what is going on? They came in and they did really great marketing and branding, and
Right.
slowly pushed Tab down. I'm assuming they're gone. I don't know, but you saw RC Cola. They're
I
still
did
out
see
there,
RC Cola.
Huh?
so they're surviving and they think they're saving money by not marketing, but they're getting killed or barely hanging on.
Oh, look at this. We have some postcards here from our
So-
friends at ProspectsPLUS.com.
This is a portion of our show where we pick a postcard and
Yes, here
give
we
somebody
go.
a chance to win almost $100.
Almost. What is $99.99?
We're going to start putting a service fee in here for all this work we have to do.
The $100 is now down to $50. All right, this is excellent. So our winner today is going to be Carrie Schultz. She can be reached at 319-540-1281. And she says, call me today. I can help. We're trying to help give
Okay.
her money.
Call
Okay.
me today.
We're calling you today.
It is today.
Here we go.
So here we're calling. And
Tomorrow's
some
gonna be-
keys.
Hello.
Hello, is this Carrie?
Yeah.
Carrie, this is Jim and Todd and Lisa with the Take a Listing Today podcast. We're on the air calling on behalf of ProspectsPLUS.com. They gave us this postcard that you ordered from them. It looks beautiful.
Yes.
So if you don't mind, we'd like to ask you about your marketing campaign, and then we're going to give you a question so you can win $100 for just about anything on our website. Sound good?
Okay.
All right. So you sent out the postcard, 5 keys to selling your home sooner. What kind of a list did this go to? Is it going to like a demographic area or around a new listing?
A little bit of both from my list that I have put together, and then from past clients that have been in their home. I think it was over 4 years.
Awesome. And I love the front of it. You picked the great front, 5 keys to selling your home sooner. A few hours can go a long way. So it's very non-threatening and gentle. And who wouldn't like that message?
Right.
Yeah. I do. I also have extended the list to all of past sold for now, just to have another piece to stay in front of them and give them some information.
Well done.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Let me ask you, you sent out the panoramic size postcard. What made you go with that as opposed to the jumbo size or the small postcards?
The different size, so hopefully it gets looked at before it gets tossed.
I agree with you there. Panoramic does stand out so much when you go to your mailbox, much more than the tiny.
Yep, I like that one.
Yep.
Yep, it does. And then, I mean, I've already gotten 2 repeat referral listings from it already.
Wow.
So, yeah, I think right now with everyone getting inundated with, emails and
Technology.
texts,
Yeah.
Yep.
it's good to go back to putting something in the box, but you have to do it consistently. I mean, it can't just be a one-time thing. You have to keep doing it.
Exactly. Repetition is the mother of skill. Well done. Well done.
Excellent. So this is a campaign. This is not your first order here. They've gone out before.
Yeah, I keep doing the campaigns. Yep.
So if you just if you just had 2 closings from your last mailing, she might not need our $100 gift card for anything on our website.
It'd be nice.
It'd be nice.
Oh, okay.
I can put that for another campaign.
Yeah.
You know what? She's been wonderful. Let's
So
give her
don't
an.
count me out. Yeah, don't count me out.
Okay. All right, hang in there. We're going to be good to you.
Yeah, a gift card would come in handy since you're doing recurring campaigns, Carrie. So if you're game, I will read you a Take a Listing Today podcast question, and you give me the answer. And if you are correct, you will be the big winner of the $100 gift card. Sound like a winner?
And Carrie, keep in mind that Jim's questions are sometimes a little bit
Squirrely.
That's a good word.
Squirrely.
So Lisa and I have your back.
I think you'll be okay, Carrie. In fact, I'm going to help you out on this answer. I'm going to read you a question, and the answer is going to be a number, and you give me the number. And if your number is not correct, I will tell you if you need to go higher or lower, and just keep shouting out a number until time runs out.
Okay.
And the question is as follows.
We need 15 seconds on the clock, please. All right.
Ready?
Here is your question. How old was Benjamin Franklin when he signed the U.S. Constitution?
35.
Higher.
40.
Higher.
70.
Higher.
65.
Higher.
59.
Higher.
Higher. 80.
Higher.
82. 85.
Whoa, lower
90,
than 82.
83.
Lower than 82.
80. 79. 78.
It's higher than
76.
Wait a minute, Carrie. Hang on.
Dude, which way am I going?
It was
Hang
81 or 82.
Hang on. You said 80 and I told you higher. Then you said 82 and I told you lower.
And I did hit 81.
81?
Oh, she won.
Congratulations.
Great job.
81 is the correct answer. Todd, what does Carrie win today?
Carrie, you are in for a treat today. You win a $100 gift card for just about anything on our Prospects Plus website and some swag from the Take a Listing Today podcast. And keep up the campaign. If you need help, reach out to us. We have you covered, okay?
Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks.
Have a great day.
We'll
Have a
shoot
great
you
week.
an email. Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you,
Bye.
Carrie. Bye-bye. All right.
That was
nice.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Usually they don't understand to keep yelling. She was going so
She was all over it.
85, 84, 70.
She's been to auctions before.
You're going to 82, higher, 80, 80, 79, lower, 85.
The other way.
All right.
The other lower.
It's only 8 o'clock at night, and we got through our first show, but
Maybe by the time we edit this, it'll be half over. Okay.
right.
All right. Anything else, Lisa?
No, this is it. I love this show.
Yes, this was a great show. I kind of feel like going out and getting a Coca-Cola right now.
Yes.
I don't know why. It's
Yeah.
just,
Except we don't drink that stuff anymore. We drink green smoothies.
exactly. It's green smoothies all the way around here. So no Coke. But how come you don't see ads for the green smoothies?
Well, it's
No
not
money
there
in
yet.
it. No
right,
money in it.
right,
No.
right. It's not profitable. It's just healthy.
Right.
I think Naked Juice is as close as you can get. You know that brand.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw an ad for that the other day, actually.
Naked juice?
Yeah, it's the name of the company.
Bring us home.
Okay. I don't know what Lisa's doing, but thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.